for sickle cell, with every 6 weeks, she has to get 10 units of blood. If you think about it in terms of how often she needs her blood throughout the year, and the blood drives that we're going to be running next month, our one set of blood drives next month will contribute to her entire year of transfusions. So that one individual will need that many blood donations. And then what a blood donation is a process generally 45 minutes to an hour. If you have not donated before, we take very good care of you because we want you to be as comfortable as possible and come back to us. When you first come in, we'll have you read some information, check in. After that, we'll do a brief health history to check your physical exam, where we'll do your blood pressure, we'll check your iron, we'll check your temperature just to make sure you're physically healthy to donate, and we'll review some questions with you to make sure you're healthy enough to donate as well. After that, we'll bring you to our donor beds, where our phlebotomists will take good care of you, and within 5 to 15 minutes, draw 1 unit of blood that will become platelets, plasma, and red blood cells, which are actually helping up to 3 people with that one donation. And they're used for different reasons. Red cells, most often for trauma patients, platelets for cancer patients, and plasma for burn patients. They can have some additional uses as well. All 3 can help in very different ways. And certain blood types are also very helpful in a lot of different ways. Most people are AB, AB, or O, and have either a positive or negative Rh factor along with that. Certain of those are more useful than others for certain types of donations. For O blood types, O positive and O negative, they are the most useful because anybody can use them. With O positive, anyone, as long as they have that O positive factor, can donate to anyone. For O negative, they can donate to anyone. So with those blood types especially, we are in dire need of those donations. Those are the ones that are used first for trauma patients, so they don't have to check blood types, they can immediately treat those patients. Then speaking more about sickle cell disease, these events that we have coming up, especially Saturday, September 20th, at the Antioch location, we are setting appointments for sickle cell testing through Vanderbilt. So they are partnering with us on that. If you have not been tested before, we're searching primarily for the trait. With that, you have the information, especially when you're in childbearing years, to be able to make decisions based on who you are having children with, whether that is a concern that you need to have in the back of your mind. My own son, Jude, he actually does have the trait, and we did not know about that until we first had that newborn screening test. They didn't do those previously, so that was my first knowledge of sickle cell and my awareness of it. The reason I donate myself, and the reason I'm with the Red Cross, is I was doing some fundraising. I started with the American Diabetes Association, as I do have type 1 diabetes. And I just wanted to do some fundraising for them, help the cause that was dearest to my heart at the time. I eventually started fundraising with the American Cancer Society because I had plenty of relatives and family members who had experienced cancer. One day, as I was doing fundraising at my college for that, the American Red Cross set up a drive table to set appointments for their blood drive at my school. I went over and asked them for money. And in doing so, I got $5 from them in exchange for doing my very first blood donation. I did that first blood donation, and the feeling that I got for sitting in that chair for just a few minutes, saving up to 3 lives, compared to the feeling that I got doing fundraising, where you know you're helping somebody, it just took it to a whole nother level for me. I didn't have to pay any money for the blood donation. I didn't have to ask anybody for money, but I was literally saving lives. And I love that feeling. I'm very passionate about the Red Cross since then, and I got very competitive about it. As I did more and more blood donations, I decided my lifelong goal was going to be to set the world record for most blood donations. I try to donate as often as possible. Originally it was every 2 months as soon as you're normally eligible, or every 56 days. I now also donate platelets, which you can do up to every week. So I try to stay busy with that. And I currently, last week I made my 169th blood donation. So I have just over 21 gallons now. We have someone at our center who is at about 510 donations. So he's my local competition and my hero. So I hope to stay healthy. And my intention in speaking with people is really just to share my passion. Why it's so important, how easy it is to help, and hopefully other people will share that passion with me as well. If I could have anyone raise their hands if they had themselves experienced the need for either blood donations, blood recipients, or sickle cell disease. Has anyone been affected by any of those directly? Pat? Okay, but everyone in some way or another is going to know someone who has. If you ask church members, if you ask the people you work with, you will all know someone who's been affected by it directly or indirectly. And the most important thing to think about with that is if that does happen to someone that you know, you would want to help out at the drop of a dime. You would want to be that person to give them the blood right on that second. The problem is with blood transfusions, it would take about 3 days for a donation today to be available to someone who needed it now. So when something goes wrong, that blood needs to be there. And we count on each other to do it. Our neighbors, our friends, family members. We have to keep the hospital stocked with the blood in order to help those individuals. So with that, although we might not know someone right now, just imagine that you are that person who has to experience that. You want to make sure that the blood is there for anyone who might need it at that moment. I think we'll go ahead and start the video if we could now. And this is a brief video on a lady named Marquita, who is a sickle cell patient, and she shared her story with the American Red Cross.